this season had a lot of very strong contenders for some of the best shows that have been airing this year. So let's talk more anime, specifically the summer 2025 season, because now that it's ended, I'm starting to talk about and review some of those shows that I've personally watched all the way through. And like I said, there's a lot of strong shows that have been up this season. Let's talk about one that obviously could never have been strong in any way, shape, or form. And for the love of God, I can never think about why the season ever got a second... Why the show, I should say, ever got a second season to begin with. It's... well, isn't a good one. Jido Henbaigi ni umare kawatta ore wa menkyo o samyo. Second season. Or rather season 2, or, number 2, whatever you want to call it. Just chuck that in there. The man who dies from trying to save a vending machine has returned in another world with all of his usual compatriots that we expect to see. Ramis... Who else are the other characters? Already we're off to a good start. I think you can already tell. So ostensibly the opening theme, let's start off with that, since, that's kind of one of the things that we see. The beginning of the show and the beginning of the opening theme does do like a little minor recap every episode, being like, oh, I tried to save a vending machine. Oh, I got crushed. Oh, I died. Oh, I turned into a vending machine in another world. Yay. In like a sort of comedic style. And then we have the proper opening theme, which I think is fine. I think the opening theme is fine. All right. Ending theme. Do I even remember the ending theme? That's actually a really good question. I don't. What the heck? Why do I not remember the ending theme? I remember skipping the ending theme a lot. You know what? I'm not even going to talk about that anymore. Opening ending theme, unremarkable, unmemorable. Let's leave it at that. Because as I am recording this video, obviously I don't have a script on me on what I talk about. But obviously, it's incredible how, remarkable some shows can be with the opening and ending themes. Because they're memorable, they stick with you, and they're kind of in your mind, like they're playing almost like a record. With this show in particular, I'm not feeling that at all. I can only just vaguely remember some of the visual cues of the opening and ending theme, but outside of that, I think I've just been skipping them for the most part, which is why I don't feel any particular affinity towards them. That being said, let's talk about the actual content of the season. So obviously continuation from season 1, because obviously this is a second season. I don't know why anyone would have expected otherwise, but with that being said, it's really about as bland as ever. And I say that because I thought that season 1 was bland, unremarkable, and kind of was just like, okay, sure, the show can have a legal right to exist, but I also have the legal right to just completely ignore its existence entirely, because I feel like my life would have been better off if I hadn't watched it at all. It's not particularly bad, but it's not particularly good. Now, my question to you is, am I talking about season 1 or season 2? Because the correct answer is I'm talking about both. Season 2 continues the trend of trying to do more, trying to be more, but ultimately not really achieving that, because basically we have more characters that are added on, introduced, that have interesting quirks to them. And sure, those characters are memorable. The main character isn't anymore, because basically the actual unique selling point to this isekai is that the main character is a vending machine. That unique selling point is now gone. So what more are you going to bring to the table in the second season to be able to add more or build up more on what you already have? Granted, we do get to go into more stratums across the dungeon. That's cool. We're not going to be at Clearflow Lake all the time. Of course, we've revisited the desert. We've been to the forest stratum. I forgot what it was called. And of course, the scorching desert, meeting those directors of the... of each stratum as well. That's all well and good. So there is at least some world building. But like I said, when I try to think of what events actually happened, only one thing comes up, and that is, well, two things come up. One is an interesting character gets added to the crew that becomes boring afterwards by the end of the season. And the second thing that happens is a betrayal that then never goes anywhere and gets kind of alluded to at the end of the final episode when they announce that, oh, we're doing a season 3. So, unfortunately, for what it's worth, there is some build up, a lot of disappointment, and blandish pandering throughout. I don't know, man. There are some cool ideas there, and then I look at it and I'm like, I wish these cool ideas were in a different show, because they have some good ideas. I just don't feel like they're using it to the extent of which they could. I feel like each of these episodes could do a bit more. Are they making good use of their runtime? I don't think so. I really, really don't think that they're making good use of their runtime. I think they're focusing on a lot of things that are happening that are not the most interesting thing. I feel like when you ask someone who's writing a story, is this the most interesting that could be happening? And if it isn't the most, or is this story about, the most interesting time of our character's life? And if not, why aren't you telling us about that? It really kind of brings together a lot about how isekais are written. Granted, there are some isekais that I bloody hate, and I think are just, don't make any sense, like Smartphone Isekai. That was just awful. Here, it's just okay, a 24 level production, and that's about it as far as animation quality goes. I mean, fight scenes aren't particularly great. We do get to see some, again, as usual, vending machine strategy. Main character really bringing out his vending machine knowledge of different types of machines and being able to transform into them, and then just other junk like that. But that was all shown off in the first season. Continuing it is to be expected, but spice things up a little bit at least. I mean, I don't know. Even I'm just getting kind of I feel like my voice is flatlining the more I talk about the show and the more I try to drag it on. So I think I'll just leave it at that, if I'm being completely honest. That being said, though, my anime list, I'm just going to bring it up right now. I think, comfortably going to put this at a 5 out of 10. I don't know, man. It's average. It's not particularly bad. It's not great. It's unmemorable at times, and yet there are so many big hitters this season that I'm actually kind of surprised I even remembered I watched the show to begin with. If I count the number of shows I watched this season that I think are absolute bangers, I can name 5 of them. 5 of the 9 shows are bangers. This is obviously not one of them, but I'm not one to judge. That being said, though, let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments below. Did you watch this show? Did you watch season 1? Are you interested in season 2? Did I convince you? Did I not convince you? I feel like that's really the question to be asking right now. Did I convince you to watch or not to watch this show? Well, only one way to find out, and that's either if you guys comment or you guys do it and never tell me. In which case, I'll probably be sad in my house trying to figure out why people aren't telling me if they're watching shows or not. That being said, though, like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel. I'm aiming for 500 subs by end of the year. And with all that being said, I do upload every day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.